Hello, my name's Connor Obert, and today I'll be talking to you about research funding, where it comes from, a major issue associated with it, and why it's important for the physical therapy field. But first, here's a short clip about research funding.
That's it. Prepare to be minimized.
I'm not finished. All scientists have to fundraise, Sheldon. How do you think I paid for my lab? I went to Saudi Arabia and met with a prince who had an interest in neurobiology.
Your lab is funded by some Middle Eastern dilettante?
Technically, Faisal is my fiancé.
So there was one example of where one can get research funding. While it wasn't a very common way, this clip does indicate how research funding is important for several different fields. When research funding from the healthcare field doesn't come from a Saudi Arabian prince, it most commonly comes from four major groups. The first group is nonprofit organizations. This includes groups like the Foundation for Physical Therapy, who specifically funds research for the physical therapy field. An additional example is the World Health Foundation that funds research on a more global scale. The second major group that provides research funding involves multiple government agencies, such as the National Institute of Health, the Agency for Health Research and Quality, the National Science Foundation, and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Of these government agencies, the National Institute of Health provides the most funding for research, supplying nearly $32 billion each year. The third group involved in medical research funding includes different industries of healthcare. While several industries fund research, the three major industries are pharmaceutical research and design, biotechnology research and design, and medical technology research and design. These groups not only fund their own organization, but also fund academic research for universities. These different industries account for approximately $69 billion of the $130 billion contributed to medical research annually. The final group involved with research funding are universities. Universities typically only provide funding for research conducted internally. However, they rely on funding from each of the previous groups. With research funding comes the issue of not receiving enough funding. This issue was made more prominent in recent years due to a budget cut by the federal government called sequestration. Sequestration is derived from the Latin word sequestro, which means to set aside or take something away to repay a debt. Sequestration was implemented by the federal government in 2013. This forced the National Institute of Health to cut 5% of their funding. Subsequently, this has led to a decrease in funding for research. While the impact of these cuts are not prevalent currently, they will slow the progression of research for all that rely on funding from the National Institute of Health. Now that we have a good understanding on where research funding comes from, we can relate the importance of research funding to the physical therapy field. Physical therapists utilize research every day while practicing through the use of evidence-based practice. The APTA describes evidence-based practice as the use of research in combination with skills to provide consistent, high-quality care. In the past, evidence based on experience or opinion were commonly used for treating patients. Today, however, the preferred method of treatment is established from evidence-based practice. In addition to forming evidence-based practice, research has also been crucial for the promotion of the physical therapy field. An example of this is obvious from research on pain treatment. Ultimately, this research established that physical therapy is an effective alternative to pain medication for chronic pain treatment, which, as you can see from this picture, is quite prevalent in the United States through arthritis. Because of this, it is crucial that the physical therapy field unites to promote and even contribute to research funding. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day.